What's up, YouTube delay pedal enthusiast nerdizzles and nerdellas? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We're looking at the source audio Nemesis delay. I would call it kind of the thing that shows you half of what it is on the outside. Hidden treasures inside. Kind of like an Eventide H9, just some of it there, some of it not. But then, what, you know. So let's take a good look at this thing. We're just gonna play through some sounds, and on the outside, it's pretty much a very straightforward delay with a time knob, feedback, mix, modulation right there with depth and speed, and an intensity, which can be different things. You have a tap for quarter notes, dotted eighth, and triplets. You have 4 presets that you can step through. Very, very straightforward. So, let's listen to this thing. How are we listening? Good question you ask there. This is the PRS Modern Eagle 2. I can have the Humbucker and the single coil, which are of course the French terms for those pickups. No, they're not. I'm going into actually a blues driver by Boss, which is not on, a Morley Tripler, which is doubling my signal, into Hughes and Kettner, Deluxe 20 and Deluxe 40, and in each of the effects loops is the Nemesis delay, so we have full stereo. Both of them are actually going out of the red box out, but the red box is off, so no simulation there. Going into the input of my 2 notes Torpedo Studio, which is what's doing the 412 simulation left and right. Yeah, setup everyone has. It's just, for nice stereo-ness. What you immediately notice on the Nemesis is that it's fun. It's inspiring and it's fun. So let's check this out. Digital delay, and we're gonna have no modulation. We're gonna do the same thing with some modulation. It's pleasant, it's beautiful, and obviously I've got full control over whatever I want to do right there on the front panel. With some serious positive feedback, you notice that the delay doesn't have trails. You can set that up in the app. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's go to the next sound. Actually, let me show you how to get beautiful dotted eighth happening very, very simply. So what you do is get the level just as loud as your original guitar. Okay, beautiful. Tap your quarter notes and then play eighth notes. That's what I want. But then you flick the switch to dotted eighth, and then all of a sudden you got 16th patterns. Why can't I get this happening? I'm a loser. So here we go and do the diffuse, which will diffuse the delays. A little bit wishy-washy. In fact, really beautiful. Analog, well, it should be doing, you know, analog. Let's see if that can cream up a lead sound for us. Works beautifully. Tape should be rolling off the low end nicely with some wow and flutter. Wow, wow, hear the wow, wow, that's beautiful. What else do you want? Noise tape is, you know, more severe tape. Degrade. It just makes the delays crappy. In degrees of crappiness you would like with the intensity. We're talking about bits crushing and noising and whatever, which you can all go deeper into if you want to. Shifter. Now that does pitch things which you can control the pitch that it's delaying in with the intensity knob. Obviously series modulation for the delay, which is almost unusable. Sound. Less beautiful. I mean, fifth and octaves are okay. dynamic. It feels like it's really working with what you're trying to do. That's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Helix, I have no idea what that is. So far, I haven't been able to make that sound like anything. Church organy, maybe? I don't know. Reverse does, of course, reverse. I love Sweeper. Obviously now the mod knob does where it sits. Well, how wide it sweeps, something like this. Now that's speed. Beautiful. Rhythm is very cool, as always, a rhythmic delay. And Slapback gives you the very short, roomy kind of option, of course. Whee! Ah, what do I know? I don't know. Well, of course, less of this. So, that's all fine and dandy. If you want to save something, you just hold in the select or the save button, it'll save it to one of the 4 presets you can have right on the box. Obviously with MIDI you can have 128. MIDI in, MIDI through. 2 inputs right here, 2 outputs right here. It has a little plug so that you can actually use the source audio switcher, which is weird because it can save things, it can connect all the source audio thingies, and actually without having all that stuff here showing, it's kind of, and talking about it's ridiculous because I don't really know exactly how it works, but it's kind of the whole system works within itself, and it's you are greatly benefited by investing more into source audio, which is what they want, which is probably not a bad idea. There's an extension, expression pedal input on the top, which can also be a switch input, meaning you could actually switch to more presets or do this externally, have expression, all this. Now the interesting thing is, it comes with this cable. Now, obviously nowadays, for something to have Bluetooth or wireless LAN connectivity is a nice thing. They opted for analog, so or digital control over an analog cable. So this is actually just a stereo plug that sadly goes into input 2. So if you're actually trying to have full stereo capability with stereo in and stereo out, you're shit out of luck if you want to control it with the app. Talking about routing, actually, this thing can be configured in many, many ways, which is way too complicated to actually put all in a video. We'd be here for 2 hours minimum. Stereo in, stereo out, mono in, stereo out, stereo in, probably summing to mono. You can have in 2 and out 2 being a loop that will have external effects in the delays. You can have, what else? I don't even know, some multi-feedback loops, something. There's so many ways that they actually made this thing routable. It's blowing your mind. So if you want a crazy setup, it can very likely handle it. So what I'm going to do is on my iPhone 6 Plus Doohickey, see here, I'm plugging this thing in. I'm pulling out input number 2, and I'm plugging this into in 2. Would have made a little bit more sense to make this in the extension input or something, but okay. But I think they're doing this because you can actually control these with the other ones or something like this. What do I know? So, let me see. Well, since it's monodirectional, meaning anything I do on the app will go to the unit, but whatever I do on the actual box isn't going to be transmitted to the app. So any knobs that I'm going to move aren't going to show. So I can pretty much just put this on here. So I start the app. And I could just go to Browse Sounds. There's also, well, let me show you. Here you can go to the other effects that they have. Of course, we only have this one now. So I can go to Browse Sounds. And here we're already going to kind of sounds that you couldn't get from the algorithms that are available on the front panel. Like this flanger sound. That's another helix sound. Very, very beautiful. I love tremolo. compound shifter, whatever that is. Now that's just awesome. So now I can go into the sound editor. And if I really want everything that I just did to be reflected by the unit, I'm going to have to hit the send all button. Because again, it's unidirectional and something about stuff I don't understand. Delay time, it takes beautifully. I can even tap it. I can change my feedback here. Modulation depth, the rate, intensity, output level, diffusion, distortion. So there's clearly more parameters on the inside than on the outside. So I'm gonna do a serious low cut so that my delays don't have a lot of bass. My delays don't have a lot of bass. Ha, rhyming kinda. And high cut, so you keep your delays in a band pass. Look at all this. Filter sweep, filter frequency, wow and flutter, pitch shift interval, obviously all depending on the algorithm you picked. Phase inversion. Here are the routing options. Many. External loop, stereo in, stereo out, mono in, blah, 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 all this stuff. And you can actually change the mod, rate, and intensity knob can have different functions. So if you wanted the intensity knob to be your high cut filter, then you've just done that. That's very, very cool. And up here are your different algorithms. These are all the ones we know. Sweeper, rhythmic, slapback, and then we get to resonant analog. Tremolo, sequenced filters, dub, chorus delay, flanger delay, double helix, lo-fi, warped vinyl, compound, and oil can. So let's go to warped vinyl. Ah, here we go. Different. I didn't hit send all. So, and when you've picked whatever you've done here, you could actually put this onto one of the algorithms on the wheel, because you might not want the reverse, but you like the warped vinyl. So you put that on the reverse. You could put that on one of the presets. There's definitely a lot more under the hood of this box than you might think it to start with. Yeah, you know what I mean. Der Schein trügt, we say in German. Appearances. Lie? No, that's not. You know what I mean. $350. It's got its own feel. It's relatively small. It's right out of the box, put on the table. You get what it does. You don't have to use the app. Right out of the box, what it does is nice, it's fine. If you want to dig deeper, if you want to use MIDI expression, all this, it can do it. You're going to have to use the app and dig a little bit deeper. But right out of the box, put it on the table. It's fun and it impresses. So that's definitely a big plus for it. Whether this cable in input 2 is the best idea, because you're going to actually have to, if you want to reprogram it with the app, you're going to have to pull out this cable if you actually have it in a stereo setup, and then maybe it's not exactly the sound that you're getting later because your Strymon Mobius is actually going in stereo, which you then have to this, I don't know. Bluetooth would have been nice. I know it adds to the price, maybe. I don't know how much a Bluetooth module is nowadays, but it would have been extremely nice to have. As for size, yes, it is clearly smaller than a Timeline or something else. You want to see the difference? Let me show you. Here's a Timeline. Here's the Nemesis. So it is clearly smaller by about 5 centimeters. A little bit shorter as well. It is smaller than the H9. So hell yeah, it's smaller. Well, no, it's not. Because there's actual MIDI and audio on the left side, MIDI and audio on the right side, and plugs on the top. So you're gonna have to keep room all around it, which in the end, technically, makes it almost as big as any of the others. So you're not actually saving space with the Nemesis. It's on a board, realistically, it is about the same thing. I love the simplicity. User interface is very nice. Obviously, integration with other source audio stuff would have to be determined when, you know, if I had some here and I had the switcher thing and the hub and all the stuff you need to make that work as a system. But I'm thinking it's nice to have the possibility of a source audio only system. What else? Power requirements, 200 milliamps minimums, it says. But that means it runs on 200 milliamps, which is great. Because it's about as much as a small Strymon. Because a lot of these digital boxes want a shitload of milliamps. This doesn't. So that is very, very nice. And I just like the sound. Frankly, compared to the DD500 from Boss, which I just tested earlier, this is more musical. It's very musical. It's just fun. With the app, you can get any sound you want. I don't know how MIDI works, but you have obviously MIDI control over parameters, but you definitely have a lot of presets available. 4 presets right here on the box, which might be enough. I'm saying for the money, considering it's $150 cheaper than a Strymon, it doesn't have a built-in looper, well, boohoo. For the money, definitely highly recommended if you liked the sounds. They all have their own feel. That's a given. The feel of this, I like. What else can you say? Nothing. Go away. Bye-bye.